If you're watching this video, you recently got your braces off and you are on to retainers. So let's talk about how to take care of them, the do's and don'ts, and all the information that you want to know. With your retainers, you should have gotten a sheet that looks like this. So let's go over each point individually. Let's talk about retainer wear. So we recommend 8 hours a day. So that means when you're sleeping, if you're like most humans, you get 8 hours of sleep. That's a good time to wear it. Close your eyes, you open them, it's been 8 hours. If you feel that throughout the day, you're starting to get some shifting of your teeth, that's when we recommend wearing them a little bit longer. But Dr. Martinez, I know it's 8 hours a day, but for how long? All right. So I know the question that everyone's asking. So how many years? Is there a point where you stop wearing your retainer? And the answer is, it's a lifetime commitment. Similar to wearing prescription glasses, you don't stop wearing those, you gotta keep wearing them. Nice thing is you just wear them at night and your teeth stay pretty straight. The way your dentition ages is it tends to crowd. I wish there was a retainer for these wrinkles, you know. There isn't, but we do have one for teeth. Okay, so you should have gotten your retainers in a case like this, and let's go over how to put them in. So take your upper retainer, and the way it's gonna go is you're gonna put it in and then gently press all along. Do not bite into it. So just like that. No biting. Let's take them off. So taking them off can be a little tricky, but I'm gonna show you the best way to do it. You're gonna start on one end, you'll hear it click off, and then you'll click off the other side, and then you will peel it off. So that, and then a peel. You do not want to pop it off just from one side, because what ends up happening is you end up torquing it, and over time it starts cracking, it starts developing these little cracks, so they won't last you as long. So let's do the bottom. One side, two side, peel, and then it comes off without torquing the retainer. All right, as far as cleaning your retainers, you're gonna need two of these three things. Guess which one you don't need? That's the one you don't need. We recommend hand soap and a toothbrush because hand soap is not gritty like toothpaste and it doesn't scratch your retainer. So you want your retainer to stay nice and shiny and clean. If you start using toothpaste, what will happen is over time it'll start scratching up and it'll start getting foggy and it'll retain a lot more plaque. It'll make it so that you don't want to wear it because it'll get yucky a lot quicker. We often get the question of whether you can soak your retainers in Listerine or some sort of mouthwash. The answer is no. Don't do it. It'll get the color of the mouthwash. So if you're using like a purple one, it'll start turning purple. If you're using a green one, it'll start turning green. And then once again, you won't want to wear it because it won't be aesthetic. Denture cleaner is fine, or just rinsing it with soapy water. That'll do the trick too. So here's a game plan so you don't lose your retainers. Ready? Don't take them out of the house. If you take them out of the house, there's a high likelihood that you'll lose them. It is the same old story. Somebody goes to the restaurant, they take them off, wrap them up in a little napkin, have their meal, and then the napkin with the retainer gets tossed away. Happens every time. I'd rather you just keep them at home, wear them when you're at home. You can misplace them, but it's really, really hard to permanently lose them. Yes, would I rather you have your retainer on 24/7? Of course, but I'd rather you wear them consistently every single night, at least 8 hours a day, versus you wearing them 24/7, and then there comes a point where you lose them and then you don't have them. Okay, here's a game plan for not damaging your retainers. Okay, so 1, don't torque them when you take them off. 2, when you put them in, do not bite into them. 3, dogs can smell it. So don't leave them in low areas, keep them away from kids. Don't leave them on the floor. Like say you put them in your pocket, you take your shorts off or your jeans off, and then you go and you step on that area and they distort. We live in Las Vegas, so it gets hot in the summer. Don't leave them in your car when it's hot. It is plastic, it will deform. Keep them home, keep them high, That's the game plan. So how long do these last? They usually last about 18 to 24 months. They are just like anything else. You got to get them replaced. If you think about the tires in your car, they got to get replaced too. Your car has to get replaced. Your home at one point has to get replaced. The manufacturer says 18 to 24 months. I've gotten more out of them of my own, just taking care of them. If you grind your teeth, it's going to be less. If you don't clean them, it's going to be less. If you, just like anything else, like a car, if you do an oil change every 3 months, 3,000 miles, it's going to last you a lot longer. It's how you take care of them. We do recommend having a backup. So let's talk about that. So now that you have them off, we still want to see you. We want to see you at the 2-month mark and at the 6-month mark, just to make sure that everything looks good, everything is staying put, your teeth aren't moving on you. These appointments we call retainer checks. They're usually about 10 minutes long. If you're doing what you're supposed to be doing and your teeth are behaving, it'll take about 10 minutes. It'll be a very quick appointment. You're in, you're out. I high-five you. If your teeth are being stubborn, then we coach you and we tell you what you can do differently. We may recommend that you wear them a little bit longer. We may put some dimples in your retainer. We will develop a plan to ensure that your teeth remain in the position that we left them in. Let's talk a little bit more about when you need to get your retainers replaced. So like we said, if they're starting to wear out after 18 to 24 months, if you grind your teeth, if you bit down on them and deform them, so if they crack or like I said, wear, if you lost them, you obviously need to come in. If you got dental work, that's one that a lot of people don't think about. Dental work changes the anatomy of your teeth, so the retainer that we gave you is not going to fit. It becomes really important for you to get a new retainer to protect the investment that you made in your smile. We developed a retainer assurance program, which gets you 2 retainers a year for the first 5 years after you get your braces off. The way we do this is we 3D scan your teeth. We 3D print the model, so we have it on hand if you ever need one. Having a 3D impression of your teeth is a big deal because it captures the way your teeth are at that moment. When with traditional impressions, we crack the model, it breaks, it shatters when we're fabricating the retainers. We can only get it as good as the teeth look at the time that we take the impression. So if you are away on vacation and you can't come in immediately, we can only get it as good as the day that we take the impression. So it's really important that you come back as soon as possible. With the 3D models, we can just 3D print them, and as long as it's within 2 weeks of when you lost them, we should be okay and the teeth will shift back to how they were. So how long can you go without a retainer? In my experience, it's about 1 week, maybe 2 weeks. Some people can get away with 2 weeks, but 1 week is usually the cutoff. If you lose your retainer and you don't get a new retainer within that week, your teeth are probably going to shift in a negative way where they won't go back to how they were. Say you lost your retainer or you were on vacation and you forgot to take them, which I usually don't take them on vacation. When I get back, my strategy is just putting your retainers on for at least 20 hours a day, similar to something like Invisalign or some sort of a liner treatment. It'll shift your teeth back to how they used to be. If you go longer than a week or 2 weeks without wearing it and you try that, it may not work. In the event that you went a period without wearing your retainer, remember 1 or 2 weeks is a cutoff. And when you find the retainers, or when you finally put the retainers on, you want to wear them at least 20 hours a day for a period of 2 weeks.